Welcome! Today we'll learn how to exchange personal and professional information using my simple and my continuous present.
To begin with, we must clarify the differences between my permanent and my temporal actions. On the one hand, I have the phrase, I'm Mexican. I will always be Mexican. That is a permanent action. But if I say, I am watching a TV show on Netflix, even when I'm not currently or at the moment watching the TV show, I am in the process of doing it. This may take a week, maybe a month, but it will eventually end. That is why it's a temporal action.
Okay, so in order to share my information, I need to use the following tenses, my simple present and my present continuous. Now, my simple present is used to talk about facts or things that are always true. In this case, also for things that last a long time or that maybe are forever. For example, I work as a teacher, I come from Mexico City, I do not work as an engineer, and I don't come from Japan. Then I have my present continuous to talk about things that are happening at the moment of speaking or things that are happening around the moment of speaking, which means that they last a very short time. For example, I am recording a video. I am not washing the dishes. I'm blinking and I am not using my cell phone, of course. All right, then how do I use my simple present to talk about someone else's personal information? Well, in this case, we can use the first sentence as an example. She likes pizza. Now, this girl, she likes pizza, and liking something usually lasts a long time or is forever. Maybe she doesn't even like pizza. That also may last for a long time or maybe forever. For example, she doesn't like pizza. As a question, we use, does she like pizza? If she does, then we say, yes, she does. And if she doesn't, we simply say, no, she doesn't. As you can see, we have something very common in these sentences. And that is, for my affirmative sentences, I add an S at the end of the verb. Unless the verb ends in CH, S, SH, X, or Z. In those cases, I add an ES. But if it's a negative or a question, then I simply add my auxiliary verb doesn't or does not, and I do not have to change my verb. Now we have our present continuous. Now our present continuous is used when we want to talk about things that are happening at the moment of speaking or around the moment of speaking. It is also used for short-term actions or actions that last very short time, right? Now, for example, in this picture, we can see a man. He is making pizza, but he is not going to make pizza forever. When he is not making pizza, we say he is not making pizza, of course. As a question, is he making pizza? If he is, then we say yes, he is. And with the opposite, no, he isn't. Now, something very key to my present continuous is my usage of my verb to be. For example, am, is, or are, and my main verb with ing. Now, mostly to all verbs, we simply add an ing. If the verb ends with an e, we eliminate that e and we add an ing. But if the verb ends in consonant, vowel, consonant, we duplicate the last consonant and then add my ing. In this unit, we will be talking about leaders. And one leader that I really admire is Jacinda Ardern. She earns her living as the Prime Minister of New Zealand, which means she is like the President of New Zealand. Now, she works for the government. We can say that this is a long-term action because there's no specific time to be a prime minister in New Zealand. You can be a prime minister or president as long as the Queen of England wants.
Thanks to Jacinda Ardern's efforts, New Zealand was one of the first countries to be considered COVID-free. She is handling the COVID-19 pandemic very well. But because of that, Jacinda Ardern is not seeing her daughter a lot. But both of these actions, since they are soon to end, we consider them short-term actions.
Lately, Jacinda has become really popular because she's currently rebuilding New Zealand's economy after the pandemic. That is something that is temporary, but something that is permanent is that she comes from a city named Hamilton.